She was demanding, she was tough, but boy, could she win. Pat Summitt put women's basketball on the map, and tonight she's mourned within the sport she loved and beyond. I'm Bruce Rader. Welcome to the Sports Wrap Live on this Tuesday night. Pat Summitt, a pioneer in basketball who created a dynasty at the University of Tennessee, died this morning after battling early onset Alzheimer's disease. She was National Coach of the Year 7 times and was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2000. That was 12 years before she stepped down with a record 1,098 victories. She received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor, from President Obama 4 years ago. Coach Summitt was by far the country's most successful female coach in any sport, and tonight Brian Parsons looks back at her storied career.
A pioneer, an ambassador, a winner. 38 years as head coach of the Tennessee Lady Vols, 18 Final Fours, 8 national championships, never a losing record. Pat Summitt won more games than any coach in the history of college basketball. Hampton Roads was a frequent stop for Summitt, like in 1982 when women's college basketball left the AIWA for the NCAA. The first women's Final Four was at Norfolk Scope, and so was Summitt and her Lady Vols.
I think that the women that have been involved this year and seen and worked with the NCAA have nothing but good things to say and feel that it was a good move.
Summitt's Lady Vols played the Old Dominion Lady Monarchs virtually every season. In 1997, ODU defeated Tennessee during the regular season at the Old Fieldhouse, but Summitt's team gained revenge, defeating the Lady Monarchs in the national championship game. Former ODU coach Wendy Larry may have been Summitt's adversary on the court, but they were friendly off the court.
I've been fortunate to know her as a peer, but more importantly, to know her as a friend, to spend, quality time with her. There wasn't a game if they weren't flying right out, if they weren't, chartering right back, that we wouldn't go out together and sit down and just kind of chat a little bit with a glass of wine over, how I could make my team better, and she'd be more than willing, to talk about that with me.
Debbie White is retiring as Associate Athletic Director at Old Dominion, and she had the privilege of working directly with Summitt.
I had a very nice relationship with Pat, obviously from the many times that we played here, but I also moderated the press conferences at 21 Final Fours, and Pat sat next to me many of those times because of their winning record, and we would have a few jabs and jokes before the lights would come on and the cameras would start. So a great relationship, a healthy relationship, and we will all miss her very deeply.
Summitt was diagnosed with early onset dementia in 2011 and stepped down as Lady Vols head coach in April of 2012.
It's never a good time, but you have to find the time that you think is the right time, and that is now.
Pat Summitt was 64 years old. Reporting for the Sports Wrap, I'm Brian Parsons.